Good afternoon, everybody. Today is February 11th, 2015, and welcome to our live market analysis for the pound dollar. I'm the Chief Technical Analyst here at HyperFX Academy, and I'll be walking you through some of the trade setups that occurred during the US session earlier today. Now, we are using one of the basic HyperFX zigzag indicators, and we are simply connecting the dots. This basic strategy is covered in the HyperFX workshop in more detail, but the rules are quite simple. We draw two types of trend lines, either horizontal or angled, depending on the position of the second dot relative to the first dot. And once we have identified these support or resistance levels, we simply wait for the price action to cross the line and enter our position. So our first trade of the day would have been this breakdown here, and you can clearly see that the price action crossed the trend line here, so this would indicate our first sell signal. Now this trade went for 5 pips, and in most cases you would have still been in this position when you received the opposite signal. So we would have closed this position and entered in the opposite direction. As soon as we have the opposite signal, we enter this position. Okay, and this position, let's see here, was very profitable. It went for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 pips. So again, if you're trading 10 standard lots, that's a $3,000 trade on a larger account, like a $100,000 account, or if you're trading a $10,000 account, you'd most likely be trading one standard lot, and that would be a $300 trade. So again, when we have an entry and we receive the opposite signal, we would definitely close the original position. So in this case, if you had got into the signal here, and if you did not take your profits of 10 pips, you would have definitely closed this position when you received the opposite signal. Now, if you're scalping the market, 10 pips, that could be a $100 trade on a $10,000 account, or a $1,000 trade on a $100,000 account. So the money management really is up to you when you're scalping the market of how much profit you really want to go for. So those are the initial two entries. Now the next entry occurred here. We had a break in the price action here. And you can clearly see that this was another very successful trade that went for, let's see here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 pips. So that's another very easy trade that was highly profitable. Another opportunity would have been this upside break here we had in the market. The price action clearly broke this trend line at this position, and this was another great trade at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 pips. Again, these are 5 pip Renko boxes, and I'm just going to talk a bit about the advantages of Renko. They filter out the noise of wicks and are based solely on price without time. And you can, as you can see in our strategy here, that it's very easy to identify support and resistance levels using a Renko chart. So this is why we highly endorse Renko charts while scalping, for a few minutes every day. Each trade maybe lasts 20 minutes. We're in and out of trades very quickly, so we use Renko bars exclusively, and in some cases we combine just a 1 minute or 5 minute chart with one of our other HyperFX strategies, but in most cases we do use Renko a lot, so we endorse that highly. Now after that, another entry we would have been this horizontal break here. You can see that the price action crossed this trend line at this position here, so this would signal another sell entry. And again, that went for 5, 10, 15 pips. And then our last entry for the day would have been this break up, and this would be a trade that we would still be in right now if we were trading. With this bar right here, we got a buy signal, and that is a position that you would have been in profit with 5, 10, 15 pips. And again, you can see that it's open. So all the trades were very easy to spot on the chart here, the Renko chart here, and they were all very successful. So again, this is a very basic strategy that we use here at HyperFX to teach new students, and it's a very powerful strategy. This is how an easy way you can scalp the market trading 2 or 3 hours a day with little effort. It's a very simple system, and as you can see, all the trades were successful. But if you do get into a trade and you get the opposite signal, you definitely want to close out the initial trade if you didn't take your profits yet. and get into the opposite signal. Thank you again for joining us here today, guys. We just recapped the British pound US dollar during the US session today. I'll be joining you again tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be scalping, showing you the scalping setups using the Renko bars and combining them with horizontal and angle trend lines. Till then, thank you and happy trading.